Hey everyone, it's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, Crypto Assets, and Interviews. Today's Wednesday, June 21st. Happy hump day. Hope you're doing awesome. And in this video, we've got a banger for you today. Going to go over proof that Tilray Brands is going to be an absolute powerhouse long-term and how Peter Thiel is actually involved with Tilray through the Founders Fund. And as we know, Peter Thiel co-founded PayPal, and he was an early investor in Facebook, LinkedIn, Airbnb, SpaceX. The list goes on. We'll bring up all that and more here. Before we get to it, though, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Closing in very, very closely on that 500,000 view mark on the channel. So first and foremost, I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the support along the way. That definitely wasn't easy, and I really do appreciate the support. Peter Thiel backed Privateer Holdings set to merge with Tilray. So this was back on June 10th, 2019. And let's just go through the timeline here. You'll start to really see that, the more you learn about financial markets, the more that, you realize that a lot of these different markets, a lot of these different companies, the whole world is really run by a select few. And if you Google who runs the world, essentially it'll come up with BlackRock. BlackRock is the largest asset manager on the planet. And they're also filing for a potential Bitcoin ETF, and they just seem to have their hands in everything, right? The JP Morgans, the Morgan Stanleys, the Goldman Sachs, the Vanguards, and the BlackRocks of the world, right? And let's just go through this timeline here, and you'll start to see that, based on share price right now, you wouldn't think that Tilray, is going to stand the test of time. Everybody's down in the dumps, and we're sick and tired of seeing Tilray go to new lows. But unfortunately, that's just the lay of the land right now, and the lay of the land is MJ is in a bear market. But long term, we know that Irwin Simon has a great track record for long-term success, and he's not positioning Tilray for, this week or next month or next year. He's looking 5 to 10 years plus out down the road, right? And MJ grower Tilray soars more than 20% after Peter Thiel-backed fund says it won't sell. So Tilray soars after its largest shareholder, a private equity fund backed Peter Thiel, said it will not sell shares over the next 6 months. Privateer Holdings says it strongly believes in Tilray's long-term global growth strategy and pioneering role in shaping the future of the legal MJ industry. The stock zooms following the announcement, which spurred short sellers to close their positions. Again, this isn't new information, but I want to go through the timeline here and just kind of reiterate the fact that Tilray's going to be a massive global powerhouse. I would say top 3 globally, if not the biggest globally. As we know, they are now Tilray, Aphria, Hexo's due to close here. The merger with Hexo due to close at the end of the month, so June 30th. So we should see that conversion and Hexo shares turn into Tilray shares soon, likely in the next week or two. And some brokers will be slower than others, but you should see that convert automatically if you haven't already taken advantage of arbitrage, which I've done videos in the past. But essentially, it's now Tilray, Aphria, Hexo, Redican, right? And it's just going to be a global powerhouse. And we know that they're partnered with Truss Beverage Co., which is the joint venture between Molson and Coors. So all things pointing to Tilray being an absolute behemoth in the space. And you can see here Tilray closed the merger with Privateer. And if we just go to the Wikipedia page here for Peter Thiel and we go down and we take a look at some of the things that Founders Fund has invested in, take a look at this. So Thiel created Founders Fund, a San Francisco-based venture capital fund. Others partners in the fund include Sean Parker, Ken Howry, and Luke Nosek. In addition to Facebook, Thiel made an early-stage investment in numerous startups personally or through Founders Fund, including Airbnb, Slide.com, LinkedIn, Friendster, Rapleaf, Genai, Yammer, Yelp, Spotify, PowerSet, Practice Fusion, MetaMed, Vader, SpaceX, Palantir Technologies, Ironport, and we know that he, he co-founded PayPal, right? And X.com, and that's just to name a few, right? And Stripe is another big one as well. So you can clearly tell that he's got the Midas touch, and pretty much anything he touches turns to gold eventually, right? It might not turn to gold, tomorrow or next week or next month, but long term, it looks like Tilray is going to be an absolute, like I said, global juggernaut here in this space. And we'll just go through this a little bit further here. So Privateer Holdings is an American private equity company that invests in the legal MJ industry. It is headquartered in Seattle, Washington, and employs more than 350 people. And we'll just go through this a bit quicker here. So Privateer in 2019 merged with Tilray. Privateer Holdings portfolio companies include Leafly, the world's largest MJ information resource, Tilray Inc., a federally licensed GMP certified medical MJ producer located in Nanaimo, BC, and Marley Natural, a partnership with Bob Marley Estate, launching a line of MJ strains. And then if we go through here a little bit further, it talks about the ownership in Tilray, and then Privateer Holdings acquired Leafly in 2011. And let's just go through this a little bit quicker here as well. So if we take a look at Uber Eats partnering with Leafly to bring MJ delivery to British Columbians. So are we starting to see the writing on the wall that Tilray is going to be an absolute global powerhouse? There's no doubt in my mind, and I'm 110% okay with, the dollar cost averaging. Do I think they're going to sink or swim? I think they're going to definitely swim, and they're going to win the race because, as we know, this isn't a sprint. This is a marathon. And we're still in the first inning of MJ, right? We could still see legalization of medical in the U.S., safe banking, uplisting the NYSE and the NASDAQ, full-blown federal legalization, removal of 280E, right? Which we know Curaleaf said they'd already be paying a dividend if it wasn't for that, and they've already paid over $340 million to the U.S. government. Then we'll see, LPs potentially into the U.S., right, and become MSOs, and then the MJ Act here in Canada will get revamped, and we'll start to see things, products and beverages and things like that in convenience stores eventually, right? But speaking of BlackRock and companies that run the world, just take a look at some of the institutional ownership here. You got MJ, the ETF. You've got a couple of other ETFs. You got Vanguard, right? Citadel, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, Bank of Montreal. So you're starting to see that it's really the poster child and the Wall Street favorite here, which is Tilray, right? You got the Bank of Canada, National Bank of Canada, and the list goes on and on and on, right? You've got Goldman Sachs, right? Like I said, nothing happens in the world without the BlackRocks, the Vanguards, the Morgan Stanleys, JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs, right, of the world, and, Citigroup, all that stuff, Citadel. They're getting their hands big into the crypto space at the moment as well, with a lot of companies filing for ETFs. And it's just a matter of time before MJ enters a new bull market. And I think we're going to see Tilray absolutely dominate the space, especially once federally permissible in the U.S. and we see full-blown federal legalization in the U.S. This is just going to be absolutely monstrous, the amount of generational wealth that will be created. But obviously not financial advice. This is just my own personal opinions. I'll never tell you what to do, buy, sell, or hold. I'll, just give you my information, my research, my thoughts and perspective, and this is for entertainment purposes only. It's definitely not to be taken as financial advice, but this is my conviction. And just to kind of prove that point home even further, that Tilray is the favorite amongst all Wall Street and institutional investors, hedge funds, all that stuff. Take a look at Tilray back on March 25th, on Friday of 2022. There was 302.811 million. So just shy of 303 million shares traded in one single day. That equates to roughly $2.2 billion trading in Tilray stock in one single day. I challenge you to find another MJ stock that would have that much volume in one single day. But as we know, it's been a brutal couple of years, especially for, MJ as a whole, right? But Tilray, from its high of February 2021 to the low here, we're now down almost 98%, right? So it's been a brutal couple of years, but unfortunately, we're here for volatility, and you can't have the 100x gains or the 1000x gains without the 90+% pullbacks, right? And this is just the nature of the game. This is just how markets work. And change your mindset. This is like I said, an opportunity of a lifetime. And then legalization at the federal level in the U.S. is only ever going to happen once, and then across the world, into the rest of the EU, and then other international markets as well. Germany is going to be a huge one, which Tilray has a big foothold on that one as well. Mexico is going to be another huge market that I think people are very underrated at the moment. We know Colombia Senate falls short in bid to legalize MJ recreationally for now. But yeah, the South American companies as well, countries are going to be huge. And I really think Mexico is going to be a massive market. But through all of this, you can start to, to put together the picture here that Tilray isn't going anywhere. It is now Tilray, Aphria, Hexo, Redecan, and like I said, I've never been more bullish on the future of Tilray, and it's clear that it is definitely a favorite amongst all the Wall Street, institutions and banks. So going at it there, let me know what you think of this and your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. We'll continue the conversation there. Always love hearing from you. And like I said, I'm excited for the future, and we'll get through this together as a community, as an industry. This truly is the best industry in the planet, in my opinion, in medicine of the future, and I can't wait. I'm here for it. I'm here for the ups and the downs. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be making videos for as long as I'm on this earth, and I can't wait and for all of us to really reap the benefits and rewards of being patient, and patience is key right now, especially in the MJ industry. But going into it there, thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rob with Power Group. Have a great night. See you on the next video.